Hello, future Kryptonaires. I'm briefly going to talk about myself and my vision for this channel. So, I grew up in a tough town where only the strong survive. It was basically a shithole: drugs, violence, murders all the time, you name it, nothing but trouble. Essentially, anyone that wanted to better themselves did whatever it took to get the hell out of there and never look back. I'm an ex athlete that I had a pretty successful career, to say the least. I had a solid run at it, and I'm extremely grateful for the memories and experiences that I have endured. I'm the type of person that is grateful for what I have and not for what I do not have. I love sports and competition. I was a two-sport standout in high school, which led to a Division I scholarship. I parlayed that hard work and determination into a 4-year starter in college. Well, enough with the sports talk. That's not really what my intention is on this channel, but it's still a passion of mine, obviously. A little about my education and work background. I graduated with a degree in organizational behavior. Then I received a degree in accounting with the focus of taxation. I've been reviewing and filing taxes for some very successful people and businesses for several years now. I even worked on the dark side as a tax collector. Yeah, I know, boo. But I learned how the other side operates, which is essential and key for us all. Since a child, I've been fascinated with money, investing, and saving. I remember my uncles tempting me to spend my savings and harassing me for being odd as a child. They had always asked me what I wanted for my birthday or for Christmas, and my answer never changed: money. There were even times where they would buy me something for my birthday, and I would literally go back and return it for cash and save the cash. The best gift I ever got was my one uncle bought me a safe, and I still have to this day. For the most part, I never spent any money throughout my early years, and if I did, I wanted a return on my investment. I would go to the penny candy store and purchase as much candy and soda as I possibly could with that money I had. In middle school, then I would hustle that to the entire school, at least with the goal set of always trying to at least double my money. I kept stacking that money. I always invested and bought items in bulk and sold them. I hustled my whole life. In high school, really when the internet wasn't so well known and not every single kid had a phone, nor there was like no smartphones. I think Blackberries came in at the very end. I put together a website that had thousands of items and specific codes on it, and I started getting business throughout the entire country. I primarily sold clothes, bootleg Jordans, and jerseys. However, I had to shut down the website because I grew so big. I started receiving phone calls and letters from the National Basketball Association saying they wanted a $10,000 license fee to continue my hustle. And that $10,000 was a long time ago. It's still a lot now, but let alone years and years ago. Fortunately, during my junior year in high school, I verbally committed to a Division I college. I felt like I was on top of the world. Even with that great news, I continued to stack up money. And then in college, I continued that grind. I had a decent sized operation with several individuals hustling jerseys for me. I'd front them the jerseys, give them a set price, tell them whatever they sell for, keep the rest. I don't really care. Business was booming. Even though I had an athletic scholarship, I had to bring in some money, because when you were at college playing sports, especially a Division I program, I'm sure it's like that in all of them, but you had no time. It was a full-time year-round job, and everybody was broke. Even if you had free time, you had to do film studies or you had to work out more. We used to have to work out before practice or before classes and then after practice, so we had no time. But shortly after college, doing an unforeseeable injury, my athletic career was over, and I'm not going to lie, it was a dark time. I had to remove myself totally from being around the thing I loved most. Now looking back at it, the reason I had dealt with several injuries throughout my career was probably due to a few things. First and foremost, too much partying and worrying about the ladies. Secondly, I was a complete prick that was ungrateful from the start to finish in college. I was always bitching and moaning about the dumbest shit. The weather's too cold. I'm tired of the coach. Why do we have to run so much? Blah, 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 blah. Always bullshit. Crying, basically. It took a few years of me coming back home to the hood to really see people that I haven't seen in a long time that had zero aspirations with their life, not taking care of themselves, beating the system, for me to say enough is enough. I met my now wife and we moved about an hour away and never looked back. I am very blessed to grow up in a situation and surrounding which instilled street smarts and awareness, which simply books or people really can't teach you in school. It was kind of the street code. You do you, I'll do me or do. Everybody had to do what they had to do. There simply wasn't any privileged people, regardless of race. We all had to be gritty and not take any shit from anyone. Would love for someone to go back to where I'm from and tell them they're privileged or whatnot and see what happens. Well, anyways, after I finally got my act together, I started to use my brain and stop feeling so bad for myself. Because guess what? Honestly, no one gives a shit about your problems. And that's the God's honest truth. Even right now, if you're going through some shit, we're all going through shit. Man up. Handle your business. For work, I began to use my accounting and financial background to grow. I started by filing and reviewing taxes for some wealthy people and some successful people and businesses. When I worked for the other side, I used to get to be able to review everyone's tax returns. I would review their Schedule Ds and dividend income to gain knowledge and ideas for myself. Then I would research and network and ask as many questions as CPAs in their respective fields, along with successful clients, to absorb as much information as humanly possible. My goal on this channel is to network with you, share experiences I have had with taxation and life in general, and how we can mitigate taxes, along with several options on how to basically pay no taxes legally on our favorite cryptos when they moon, XRP. How we can save and cut back on expenses. Also ways to not only grow financially, but ways to broaden our horizons. I'm all about learning something new each day. Learn how to be a professional trainer with weightlifting, dieting, cooking, chess, crypto tech, basically any of my hobbies. One thing about me is I'm very competitive with whatever I get myself into. And ever since I found crypto and went down that rabbit hole, it has been an amazing journey, and hopefully we can moon together. If any of this sounds interesting to you and you would like to learn and bullshit with me, think about subbing to my page and hit me up on Twitter so we can bounce ideas off one another. And I'm going to end this intro with this. Let's make that FU type money. I'm out.